Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This video I did not or was not planning on doing, but I got reached out because they wanted more context into is 40 plus or 40 years of age and older too old to get into cyber, especially with the changing times with large language learning models, or other known as the mainstream AI. So that will be the topic of the video, and we'll dive right into it. Now, number one is, as I've always said, if you're not progressing and you're not pushing yourself, there's no work-life balance in cyber. Especially depending on where you're at in cyber, you have to push harder to grow, learn, gain the knowledge and the experience, and be ahead of everyone else. Because now, not only are you going to have to sell yourself and market yourself towards other people, but you're also going to have to sell yourself and market yourself against AI agents, etc., whatever how they want to call them. So AI agents mean like CrowdStrike, AI agent, Horizon AI for those in offensive security, Pantera, BreachLock just came out with their own. I believe NetSpy or NetSpy has their own as well. How are you going to sell yourself an added value compared to those models, right? And that's just as the baseline pen tester, because after basic pen testing, low-hanging fruit, they're not really that well yet. The only one that I know that could hit multiple streamlines is Pantera with the cloud web API, and then also now they got their remediation piece as well, the company they just acquired a couple days ago. So why am I saying that? Because you have to be able to sell your value and be better than mediocre as what these tool sets are. Not only that, as if I said this in a couple of my earlier videos when I first started YouTube, is pen testing is the new vulnerability management. Vulnerability management's pretty much to this day, if you're buying those, unless you need it for a certain compliance auditing standpoint, they're pretty much dead in the water. So with things like Pantera, Horizon AI, or BreachLock's AEV, they pretty much knocked out and killed off vulnerability scanners. So that's Rapid7, Nessus, some of these other ones. They're a waste of money, a lot of false positives. They are horrible. They're pretty much, like I said, dead unless you actually need them for compliance or any of that kind of GRC shit. You have to be stellar. And not only that, like I said, one of the videos I put out, I believe in May or June-ish, when I did those round of interviews for the different companies, you have to have those solid foundations of the four cornerstones: web, API, AD, external. You have to have those. That has to be your base foundation right off the bat, because they're all going to ask those questions, whether you're going to be some kind of pen tester, and especially on the red teaming, they're obviously going to get more granular and obviously dig down more on the C2 for red teaming stuff, and then some of your other niches, but that's where you have to be. Now, what does all this have to do with the age of 40? Because a lot of people are freaking out because AI is cutting jobs. AI is not cutting jobs. Number one, there is no AI. AI, I guess a lot of people forgot to watch Terminator, is a replica of a human brain where you don't always have to go back and double, triple, quadruple check. Now, a lot of the autonomous stuff or large language learning models, etc., if you just got your feet kicked up on the desk, not learning, whatever the case may be, you're going to get phased out. And it's not just cyber, it's all sectors. But, cyber, I think it's not only going to hit cyber to a degree with the lower level jobs, but it's also going to enhance cyber and bring in new jobs. So, like I've started, and I announced it when I did it, but I've been doing AI, especially I started the Hack the Box red teaming pathway. Now, learning CrowdStrike. I've been using Horizon since 2022. I've been doing Horizon, working with Horizon, launching the runners, etc. That is a form of AI, an agent. CrowdStrike, form of AI and agents. I don't not only know how to use it from a threat hunting standpoint, but I know how to deploy it. I know how to deploy it in an enterprise. I know how to configure it. I know how to, set up Falcon enterprise license, even dabbled in next-gen SIM, the adversary, the threat hunting tool, all the different bells and whistles, crown jewels. I know how to use it in and out blindfolded to a degree. Now, are there certain things I'm better at than others? Of course, with everything, but I know how to use it. I could go in and feel confident in my skill set and use it. Taking advantage of, like I said in a couple other videos, taking advantage of the blue team tools, knowledges, and even certifications for like for me, CrowdStrike, learning Darktrace, Exonius, Splunk, to a degree, Match, Anomaly, Zero Fox, Silo Breaker, all those different tools, Mandiant, Virus tool, all these different tools, taking advantage of the learning skills, training free. And again, I'm not certified in all of them, but there are some that I am going to get certified because like the ones I picked, CrowdStrike, Splunk, my Splunk certifications are those are like 2019 expired. Splunk's changed, but the point is I still kept up with the training. That is what you have to do. Take advantage, add extra skills, sets, experience to your resume. If you're a blue teamer, vice versa, go on the red team pen testing side, or even the application development side. Learn whatever you can and add that skill set because that's going to separate you from the pack. Like everyone and their mama has their OSCP. I would start getting these niche certifications, CPTS, the ones from Pwnbox, especially Cloud. I forgot about Cloud. Not only are those are great certs to have, but the training teaches you not only from a red team, but blue team standpoint as well. So you have to take advantage of those. And I would say get your foot in the door with whatever experiences you have, but also nail down your niche on what you actually want to do in cyber, but don't pin it down where you're closed-minded. Leave the door open because technology and things are going to change and hit like within 2.2 seconds, like this whole AI stuff. So, that's what I would work on. That's what I would do. That's what I'm doing. After I get this CAPE and CWEE, my focus is just going to be on AI and cloud. I'm still obviously going to be doing this. I'm not going to leave it. I have to do it for work. And then also my focus from that is not just CrowdStrike, but also next-gen SIM as well. And some of the other tools, bells and whistles with that is, I haven't touched all of them. I've touched most of them just from having the trial period. And I got my own outside of work as well. So I got like 6 enterprise licenses on my desktop, laptops, my kids, my mom's. And I'm also getting some of the Falcon Mobile for my phone and my mom just to dabble in it, mess around with it. She gets all freaked out with her phone and has a million browsers open. She knows what she's clicking and her font's like hella huge. So that's what I'm doing. And that's my plan going forward. CAPE, CWEE, and then the rest is going to be Pwn Labs and the AI stuff. Now that's my path. I can't tell you where to go or what's the best route to do. You have to do what's best for you and what feels best for your gut. But that is me. And again, I've not only done that stuff. I can't put most of it out there on video as far as sharing my screen because that's through work. I can't show that stuff. But I've been messing with that and using that. Like I said, I've been using Horizon since 2022. I'm doing a POC with BreachLock's AEV. Just because Horizon changed their pricing model. That's a known fact. I'm not, it's nothing new, nothing hidden. Also got to dabble and do that with Pantera as well, right? Because when something like that happens, you got to have at least the best practices, at least minimum of 3 POCs deployed so you could actually procure the best one that's going to be the best fit for your organization as far as cost, project, what's built for it, not just today, but tomorrow, that whole stuff. So, back to is 40 years old. No, it's not. You just got to work harder. You actually got to want it. So that's cutting out the bars, cutting out the bullshit, the video games, cutting out grown men doing fucking TikTok. All that stuff you're going to have to cut out if you really want it. You're really going to have to put your foot down, pedal to the metal, and go. I'm not saying you can't have fun here or there, but life's not going to be the same if you really want to transition nowadays. Everyone, if you looked at LinkedIn, everything's over 100 applicants. There's more than that. Some of them have like over 500 plus. So you really, really got to stand out. This is one of the reasons why I did YouTube and social media, is because you're building your brand. That is one case one use case as a separate resume, because you can showcase your skills, your knowledge set, etc., or skill set. Now, number two is what I would say is, I'm not telling anyone to go be a bodybuilder or supermodel or anything like that. But when you are in shape, good, I'm talking great shape, or good to great shape. And what I mean by that is not aesthetic, right? Not bodybuilding, not some of these other girl bikini models, because that's not in shape. I mean cardio, like good, healthy, in shape. You're going to be able to handle a lot of stress, and people are going to see that. And, whether you want to hear it or not, you're more likely to get hired than someone who is out of shape, because that's a form of discipline and you take care of yourself. Cybersecurity is a stressful job, especially if you're on the blue side of things. Incident response, 24/7, even threat hunting to that degree. It's grueling. It's not easy. And a lot of people don't put that out there. It's not, if there's an actual incident, you're going to see a different sides of people's personality, because it's a shit hit the fan scenario. A lot of people are sensitive this day and age. A lot of people can't handle that high stress. A lot of people don't, they want, I need my work-life balance. They can't do the 10 to 16-hour shifts during an actual incident. These are things that are reality, that are going to happen depending on how your organization is laid out and how it's functioned. These things are real. Every organization is different. Some organizations have a full-on team where they could have 3 to 4 different shifts a day. Some you might be a full 24-hour working with your MSP or MSSP. So it just depends on the actual organization. Each organization is different and structured different. So you have to be able to not only handle stress, have great emotional intelligence, be able to be rational, think, and, bite your tongue with a smile, because like I said, you're going to see a different side. You're going to see a lot of different sides of different people that you probably would never have thought you would seen. And you're going to run into a lot of people that like to use all these buzzwords, hear themselves talk during these cyber ranges or tabletop exercises. But like I always say and harp on it, because there's all these, you're going to get a handful from not just cyber, but physical security, workplace services, legal, HR, where they want to be the loudest person in the room and use all these pretty buzzwords, but when shit hits the fan in an actual incident, they're the first ones out the door. Their phone's off. They all of a sudden have their son join soccer in the middle of the season, something like that. There's always going to be 1 or 2 of those in every organization. Trust me, from my experience since 2005 in the tech industry, I've seen it time and time again. Don't be that person, because that stuff will follow you throughout your career. Tech industry is a revolving door, and things like that will follow on your career. Trust me, I know. So that would be my suggestion for if you're 40 plus or 40 and up, trying to get into cyber right now. From when since I did that first video, that would be my video or my suggestions to do right now. Again, that's for me. Take that. Piecemeal it with other people as well, because everyone's life's different. Family life's different. I mean, some people aren't married, don't have kids, don't have a girlfriend. People have family members with medical conditions. Like I have my brother. Not that I'm there with him 24/7, but that hits you. I might not show it, but it takes a toll on your head, right? Because you wake up sometimes when your mom calls, you don't call her, you don't know if something happened, and that stuff takes a toll on your body. Even though I don't talk about it, I don't show it, but being able to exercise 2 to 3, 4 times a day, that helps me relieve that stuff. So, there's a lot of things that come into play. Everyone's different. 99.9% of people can't copy the way I'm going to progress or go into cyber 40 plus years of age. I can't do it the way, someone else that don't have kids or whatever. I can't copy that. There's no way. I have to go to my son's sporting events, the school, there's all kinds of stuff. So everyone's different. Just take what you can from everyone, learn from different, and then formulate your own plan. You might be able to get into, who knows, what you call it, building out AI agents for cybersecurity. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but you might be able to take something else and run with it instead of doing my path, which is CAPE, CWE, AI, and then the cloud aspect. You might be able to formulate another path and that's actually what you want in cyber. So that's what I would do for me if I was starting right now. Again, I'm not telling anyone to do that, but that's my path going forward, unless some new crazy shit happens and I got to make a pivot because the new technology is going to be a disruptor. So that's the video, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to tune in tonight, 6 p.m. CST. I will be going live with Daniel, the man, Crowder. We will be talking all things and everything threat hunting, and even also for people that want to go cyber in the military. I was in the military, but cyber wasn't even a thing, nor did I do IT or intel like that. So he could speak on, how to join, what to look for, or, I don't know what they call it in the Air Force or whatever, but in the Navy, it was a rate. So, or Army's MOS. But he could we're going to talk about that as well. So ask questions. If you're interested on the blue team, how it differentiates from incident response, forensics, SOC analysts, and then how they work together, come together, the gray area overlap, especially during an actual incident response. So tune in for that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.